welcome to my channel. My name is Vivalina and I'm so happy you joined me today because we are starting a brand new Planet Zoo series. And I will promise you, you will be able to see the end of this one. More to that in a second. So yeah, we are building the Tanami Desert Zoo. This is named after the Tanami Desert in Australia. And it's a desert which is located like in the north of Australia, and it has like hills a bit, which also fits, the surrounding here, and a lot of rocky area, which is also why in this zoo I built with a lot of rocks like for the habitat surroundings and so on. And yeah, otherwise it will be rather a local zoo, a small zoo, housing local animals from Australia, but also like a lot of different other desert animals, like for example today the Fennec fox. This was super fun to build because I realized that I had never before actually built for the Fennec fox. So extra plus for this because it was just nice. I don't know how I missed on this cutie, but yeah, it was just really nice to build for it. And also, the desert biome is one which I have never been building in before, so it was overall super cool. And I learned a lot, like Fennec foxes getting super stressed. This also brings me to the next thing I wanted to mention. This zoo was built completely in challenge mode. This means I had the restriction of, a restricted market, even worse than in franchise. I know franchise has reduced a bit because less people playing, but I find it still better than in challenge mode. There were some animals which, until the end of the series, I never found, so they never made it into the zoo, and that I find kind of tough, but alrighty. And otherwise, of course, you also have the animal welfare, the stress, and so on, everything that comes in it: stress, sickness, animal death, and night. So a bit later for the future videos, I adjusted the settings of the zoo, so we don't go into night, but it always is daytime. But here, sadly, I hadn't done it yet, so I'm sorry that we are watching at night mode. And yeah, basically, we are building for the Fennec fox. This is the entrance habitat, the first one. I had a lot of struggle here with the path. As you saw, it was, I don't know why it was so hard, so stupid. It was really annoying. And then it became really fun. Like, of course, in the desert, you can't play lots amount of foliage, but I was surprised of how lush I could make this habitat while still being in the needs for the Fennec foxes, so this was super cool. And I think the whole zoo might be a bit more lush than would be realistic, but I just can't resist. I just like plants, and usually I prefer tropical biomes, so you see the big difference here, and I think for that I still managed to somewhat rein it in. You saw the Fennec foxes, they have their little cave here under the path, and that means they can go in there, they can go hide there and sleep there. I think that also contributed to their stress levels though. Yeah, and back to the point that I mentioned at the start, I actually already have finished this zoo. So at the time that I'm recording this voiceover, I already know how the zoo will look at its end. So I had some issues, like maybe you still hear it, I was a bit sick, I couldn't talk, and I had a lot of time on my hands, so I could build a lot in Planet Zoo, and I just recorded everything. I was not super strict on, finishing one habitat and then going to the next. Like, mostly I did it, but, I came back to this habitat, for example, at least 3 times. So that's why, while we are watching this video in a bit, you will suddenly see things appear on the sides, in the back, and so on, which have not been built yet in your view of time. So I don't know, this is various timelines, I don't know. I don't know too much about time travel and so on, but maybe it's happening here. Yeah, so just I wanted to be honest about this also because of all the cinematic shots. They are done with the finished zoo. So I went back into the file and then did a cinematic shot to really have the final version, the best version of the habitats. And yeah, that's something you will notice in a second. Also later when I add the cinematic views of everything. Yeah, so here you see all the plants, it's getting a bit lush. Yeah, that's basically it with this zoo. So the Tanami Desert Zoo, it will end up having, don't let me lie, I think 17 different species total, but this is including the exhibit species. So there will also be one video just about the exhibits I built, but yeah, that's basically it. And today we are just watching the Fennec fox, and I think next up we will have another animal from the African continent. And of course we will also have animals from Australia, and then there are also something from America. So that's what's gonna be great and gonna be in here. Also for the story of the zoo, it's meant to have started, you know, as a super small local zoo, so smaller African animals and some Australian animals, and then with more people and more money coming in, they could also expand and get even more and so on. So this will be what we will see at the end when we have the total zoo finished. I would be super happy if you can leave a like, if you like the video, of course, if you have anything to comment that you would like to see better, improved. Also just leave a comment. I'm super happy for any feedback you can provide and you want to provide. And of course, hit subscribe if you want to see how this zoo continues, because it is finished, so we will see it finish, which is really great. And I'm gonna try to push out these videos in a rather fast fashion because it's already all built, and I don't know why would I wait if already so much is being done here and is here. And this is also the first zoo I finished, so I'm super proud of that. I have so many started projects that some of them I will also try to go back into and actually finish them and maybe also put them on YouTube, let's see. And some of them I will just abandon. Actually, I had to delete some of my old zoos because I got a new PC, which means I got to install new stuff and I had to transfer some stuff, and my Planet Zoo files from Steam, it was just so big that I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus just on the ones that are, worthy, let's say, that are not some, still from the... I know that in the campaign mode I saved some zoos, that kind of stuff, all gone and so on, just because I don't have space for that. I had to prioritize a bit what I copy, because I also have privately a lot of photos and videos and stuff, so yeah. That's kind of why, but I have some cool projects that I will go back into. And also now with this new PC, this is super good news, because my old one often started to go super slow, especially when it came to recording. That was not possible anymore. So this is really good news. This means for this channel that we will have a lot of more content coming up. So it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe and if you let me know what you think, what you liked, what you didn't like. And I hope that we see each other soon. I will leave you with the rest of the speed build. It should be over shortly. I don't think there are many minutes left. And then it will also jump right into the cinematics, where you can see the little cute Fennec foxes running around and just being wholesome, awesome, small animals. They are just so adorable. Yeah, so I hope you have a rest of a lovely day, and I hope to see you soon again. Bye!